Just waiting. Yep. Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hive Mind, coming live to you from the Facebook page, The Hive Mind, and our YouTube channel, The British Hive Mind, as well. Yep. So I'm not expecting too many viewers this evening, but yeah, my page doesn't have as many followers following as the Daily Brexit page. But we've come to terms, and we thought, you know what? The Daily Chaos, it's got its own page, it's got its own followers, and we don't really want people to confuse the messages. So, yeah, with all these shows, great show, guests, news articles, things like this, things like that. Whereas our show's a little bit different, goes a little bit deeper into the rabbit holes, and goes a little bit further off topic. So, yeah. I'm not so sure what to exactly address in this episode 26, but I think it's going to be ultimatums. I think that's what really needs to start coming to the forefront of our political activity, is ultimatums. The ultimatum that if the government doesn't do what we say and what we ask, when we're out there protesting on the street, then there will be consequences. Because for far too long, the government has been able to sit back and turn a deaf ear upon the political activism that we've shown. For far too long, they've been able to just ignore us. It's been far too easy for them to just hope we go away, or a little bit of appeasement. You can have a little trinket there, that's fine, but we're going to carry on doing exactly the same things that you protested about. So it falls upon deaf ears, and it's blatantly obvious when you look at how many people turned out to march against Iraq, the war in Iraq. Millions of people on the streets of London that day, and we still went to war with Iraq. There was no ultimatum given. There was no, if this government goes to war with Iraq, then we will do this. You know, the whole country will go out on strike. The whole country will down tools and get in the cars and park on the motorway. You know, it's ultimatums like this, things that we have to literally threaten the government with to force them into action, to make them do something. Ooh, someone wants to join in. Ooh, on Facebook Live. Let's have a go. Hey. Hi, William. Right. So what's going to happen here then? Bring them on the cameras. Poke the button. Poke the button. And we've got poked it. So hopefully you'll be able to join in. I don't know. I'm a technical genius, me. Yeah. So, as we see, there's going to be a lot of political movements, a lot of protests. There's going to be a lot of action coming over this summer. I see it, you see it, we're all going to be involved in it. And we need to up our game. We have to up our game, because the game we're playing at the moment is their game, doing it their way, liaising with the police and and saying we're only going to walk down these streets and we're going to abide by your rules and things like this. And yeah, we're going to protest, but we're going to follow the rules and obey the police and things like that. I'm not saying we should go up against the police in a sort of pitched battle or anything like that, but I'm just saying we seem to pander to the establishment and what the establishment wants us to do when it comes to regards to our protests, our movements, our way of getting our political views and our political activism on shore, viewing, for people to see. You know, the first thing they want to see is violence. That is the first thing that the establishment wants to see from our side. They want to see violence. They want to be able to shut us down. They want to be able to tar us as the terrorists, or tar us as the, you know, the ones that are the ones that are the problem. It's we, the people, that are the problem, not the establishment. So, yeah, last thing we can do, the last thing we want to do is get violent in any way. So, no violence. But there are other ways, like I mentioned earlier, a mass strike. Thatcher did it so well, and she quelled the trade unions. She destroyed them. She stomped all over them. And now, when was the last? Well, there was the NHS strike a little bit, but when was the last real workers' action strike that held this government to account? Yeah, Margaret Thatcher did a lot then. So we have to sort of become our own trade union, sort of. A whole wide, broad brush of the British people, the union for the British people, the British people. And when one of us moves, we all move. We all go together. Scargill helped her with that. Yeah, Scargill, he wasn't the best negotiator, was he? Yeah, and his brash, upfront attitude towards it mitigated the Iron Lady's brash, upfront squishing of the trade union movement. So, yeah, that was. I'm not sure. I've not researched it fully 100% myself, but could that have been by design? Because a lot of the things and a lot of the games that we're playing at the moment were put in place by design. The marches, the protests, all the hoops you've got to jump through to have an official protest, all by design, all put in place there to make sure that you conform to their way of doing things. Now, I know for a fact we need non-compliance, non-conformity. We need to take a step away from their game and to enforce them to play our game, our way, with our rules, because we're not going to beat them at their own game. They've been playing it for far too long. They've been changing the rules as they go along. They have everything in their favor in their game. You know, the pitch is slanted like that, and they're in the, we're in this goal, they're in that goal, and we're fighting not uphill, an up mounting challenge to play the game their way. We have to play our own game, our own way. We need to start holding this government more to account. We need to start really pressuring the government with real action. Because going out there on the street, waving a sign, I'm not dissing it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it's not enough. It's not enough anymore. They're not listening to us. We have to get our fingers out, and we really start having to threaten them with strike action, threaten them with boycott action, threaten them with, by our constitution, we can constitutionally, lawfully take over government buildings. We can do that. It is part of our constitution. It is part of our law. We can do that. We can keep the protests going on longer. We can make the protests go on longer for days, weeks, months, if we have to, occupying London. We can We can boycott the banking system. That will be a huge kick in the groin for them. If we got enough people to go to a bank or go to your bank and withdraw all of your money, the banking system will crash. It will. It has not got the funds to support its debitors, creditors, its people, the people that bank with the bank. They don't have enough money to give us all of our money. Boom. Rush on the banks. Banks don't have any money. Financial turmoil ensues. This has been used as a threat against our government by a certain community. Yes. Next, we can all stop our direct debits. If everybody or a lot of people went, no, I'm not paying my gas and electric. No, I'm not paying my water rates. No, I'm not paying this. No, I'm not paying that. And we all did it together. What's going to happen? They're going to have to listen to us. If 1 million people stop paying their electricity bill, do you think they'll be able to take those 1 million people through the court system? How much do you think that's going to cost the actual system itself? It will collapse. It won't be able to handle it. It's us that control the system, but we're being controlled and led like sheep. If we have one black sheep to say, well, I'm not walking through that gate. I'm not walking through the gate like everybody else, like all the other sheep will want to. I want to walk over this way. I want to go over to that corner of the field. Other sheep will follow. Other people follow. Other things will follow. And then the shepherd will have to get his sheepdog out. What would happen if all the sheep weren't afraid of the sheepdog? And all the sheep turned and looked at the sheepdog and went, bah! The sheepdog would turn and run away. Right, let's have a little look at some of the comments. When good people... yeah. A quote of Enoch Powell. Yeah. So... more and more people are starting to wake up. We are. There's more of us than there ever was. There's more of us than there are of them. You see the action. You saw. I want to get into the action over the last weekend, not the previous weekend, but the weekend before, the free speech rally and the march for free speech. Sadly, what have we seen all over Facebook over this week? You might not have seen it, but I've definitely seen it. The government proposing plans to put in a 6-year sentence for blasphemers, for people who insult Islam, for people who are using their right to free speech. And that's just come out over this week, hasn't it? So I'm not saying that the action for the free speech rally was a bad thing. I'm just saying maybe we didn't go far enough. There was no ultimatum given. There was no change the hate speech laws now, and we and the protests will go away. Or there wasn't any, if you don't change the free speech laws, things are going to get a bit worse. Or if you don't change the free speech, hate speech laws, something bad's going to happen. None of that happened. None of it. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any ultimatum given whatsoever. No reason for the government to act. No forceful...
Actually...
Go on.
Good evening.
How's it going? It's going all right. It's going all right. You came through a bit loud there, but I've just adjusted the volume. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you getting an echo?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll keep up with it for a second. Yep. Unless if the viewers will be getting it.
No, it's just reverbing back to you.
Oh, okay. So there was an ultimatum was given. It was given by Tracy, one of the ladies of the Free one of the mothers of the 3 children, or young boys, that were mowed down on the street.
Murdered. Yes.
Murdered. Yeah, literally murdered, and it's been covered up. She told Theresa May she better sort it out or step aside, because she'll do it. To kind of set a precedent a little bit.
Yeah.
And the whole freedom of speech thing, it wasn't an ultimatum march. It was setting a precedent, saying, right, we're saying what we want, how we want to say it is a freedom of speech.
Yeah, and like I said, now the government
sides. 2 seconds. They're not silencing just one side. Both sides are going to speak, whatever they think are sides. These social justice warriors, these Antifa, lefties, whatever you want to call them, or far left, shall we say, socialists and communists, and just degenerates of society that want to spoil everyone's rally, that have genuine opinions and beliefs, not violent, just want to speak out about their own opinions and beliefs, and probably have thousands of people following them. But it doesn't matter. Everyone should be allowed to speak. You shouldn't incite violence. That's not hate speech. They passing speaking out about Islam and anyone, like anything religious now is becoming. Soon Christians won't be able to speak out about Christianity.
Soon, yeah, soon.
It's getting that way. And we can't allow it to happen, and that's what that freedom march was all about, or March for Freedom. That's what it was about. It was all about setting a precedent. Everyone here is not agreeing with what Theresa May is saying, or what the government is saying, or Parliament is saying. Saying no more. We're not doing this. We cannot be asked. There was about, from what I've heard, between 40 to 50,000 people in the march. And they said a couple of hundred. And then they said 1 million's turned up for another march that happened, which was against Brexit, I think it was. Yeah, right, yeah. They exaggerate everything to make everyone think, oh, look at all these people going to come out the EU, we want to stay in the EU. Oh, should we join them? Because they're brainwashed by the media.
Yep. You know, they have to do the puffer fish. They have to make themselves look big and look like there's loads of people and make themselves look genuine and good when they're not. The little skinny shrimpy things that
people
bottom
are starting
feed.
to wake up to it, though. People are starting to wake up to it now. There's a lot of normal people going, what the fuck is this shit on TV?
Yeah. And you see, that's why I see the ultimatum having more effect now. Because back time ago, if we'd given them ultimatums when we were protesting, they would have seen them as false threats. They would have seen them as, easily to brush aside. But now, with the following we have, the awake people that are out there, we've got the numbers more on our side. So when we do make a sort of an ultimatum,
the march has done, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what the march has done. The march has helped to assimilate these numbers, because there might be pockets of people like, do you know when we just woke up and was like, what the hell is all of this? And then you're talking to people and then just feel isolated because everyone's still asleep.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm alone. How many people thought, I can't even speak out. I can't even say what I want to say. I can't do anything. And then you see all these thousands of people getting together, believing in exactly what you believe in, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. It may not even be the same opinion of you, but they believe in free speech. and it helped them to get them to come together and connected with others. That's what these marches are doing.
Yeah. But now what I'm saying, it's about time we started to issue ultimatums on these protests, where we really start to push the government and force them into doing what the people want.
I think there's going to be a few million people in London on the 23rd of June.
Yeah, and the ultimatum has also already kind of been given to Theresa May. It has been
on several occasions.
It was that Frankie that did it at 10 Downing Street that handed that letter over. But
did it end up making it though?
That's it. Did it make it to her hands? Because it should have been
delivered. Other people have sent a lot of letters in though, to the same effect.
Yeah, and we've got
people with more clout as well.
Yeah, and we've got the Pendragon letter barrage as well coming for the 23rd or 20th of June. So
yeah,
that's more of an ultimatum to get given to them. Either do as we say or we withdraw our consent. And a government can't govern without our consent.
Yeah, there is a few contradictions in there and something that could be just overlooked.
Hereby. That's one of them, isn't it? I hereby.
There's quite a few.
But it's not the wording, it's the actual action of it. It's the actual sight of 2 or 3 post vans full of letters delivering that letter on that day. It's the sheer vast number of it that's going to blow people's minds. Yeah. You know, so the letter bomb, the letter campaign. Yeah. But I'm seeing that the more, you know, we need to start focusing the action a lot more as well. You know, it's all good to go out and protest secondary issues and the problems.
Are you talking about going to arrest MPs and councillors and stuff like this?
That no, I wasn't mentioning. I wasn't going to get into that. But
okay.
But now I've
lost type of action.
Now I've lost my train of thought. Strike action. Bank runs.
Oh, okay, like shutting down like the Dover Tunnel and stuff like that.
The shutting down of the Dover Tunnel, that would be an awesome move. Great. That's
happening this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be in
next.
I'm going to be in Manchester protesting. And
action is happening.
Yeah, most definitely. I wonder how many people lining the streets of London for the royal wedding are going to have some.
I don't think there's going to be as many as you think.
Oh, I think there's going to be more protesters. I think there's going to be quite a few people there with banners and signs saying "F off" to the royal family. And I'm hoping some people. I'm hoping some people are there.
Somewhere else, I would go with a sign saying "Thank you," but I would put it as capital H T A N and then a capital Q, but as the American flag.
Yeah.
And then hold that up because that would go worldwide at the royal wedding.
Yeah.
And I think that would be brilliant. So if anyone's in London or going to can get there and we'll go there, please, on behalf of the community, go with a sign saying "Thank you." And that would be brilliant.
That would be awesome. I'd love to see that. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Good idea, good plan. That one.
It would top the royal wedding off because it would just because I would imagine that they've got people watching 8chan and stuff like that. Especially when they're being exposed and spoken about.
Well, definitely. You know, if somebody's airing your bad laundry, airing your dirty laundry, you're going to want to see it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it'd be brilliant. I think that'd be awesome.
That would, and if it turned into a hashtag as well, THNQ hashtag.
Yeah, that's what. Well, hashtag THANQ.
Yeah.
Is a hashtag.
Is it? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a trending hashtag.
Yeah, we could put that on that. Yeah, people.
I do it all the time.
Well, I don't really use Twitter that much, so I don't really do hashtags and stuff like that.
Don't you see the hashtags on Facebook? It's all connected.
But still. Yeah.
That's why I hashtag all the time on Facebook.
And more boots on the street. Feet on the street. That's what we want. And yes.
There's going to be loads of marches. 2nd of June.
2nd, yeah.
23rd.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be a few in between.
A couple more in July.
I think there's going to be a protest every weekend. Every weekend.
For sure.
Yeah, somewhere, sometime, someplace, somewhere, there's going to be a protest. That's what the world's come to. That's what it's come down to. But what the theme for the show today was ultimatums. We're doing all this process, we're getting out there, but it's when it comes to the establishment, they're turning a blind eye, and it's falling on deaf ears. So we need to start, grabbing them by the short and curlies and telling them that if they don't do as we wish and they don't do the will of the people, there will be consequences.
Yeah, in how though? This is the thing. It's hard.
Yeah. Well,
they have legalese on their side that very few of us understand.
We've got our constitution on our side, which states that we can take control of public buildings. So
does everyone know how to do this properly though and lawfully?
Nope.
It's if we're going to do anything like that, we need to speak to the rebel barons.
We need to have
before we do anything like that, we need to speak to the rebel barons and see where we stand. Because they would be able to give us the best advice.
That's just another tier of politics, isn't it? Yeah, you can't exactly speak to them. You can't exactly. You're going to find it very hard to speak to the people you need to speak to.
Well, not really. There are people that know these people. That I know. That other people know. So it's not a problem of getting hold of them and arranging these meetings.
Well, I think it's something we need to do.
There to be able to put these meetings together. Some people have had meetings with them. But yeah, if we want to start doing all of that as our old rebels back when, I think we need to speak to the barons. And as they've already signed Article 61, I don't think their allegiance is with the Queen anymore.
So we stand on common ground in that certain aspects. Yeah. We think the Crown's being tyrannous. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
So we can't stand by the Crown.
That's true.
And our government are just as bad.
Yeah. Our government are just as bad. Even the ones that we think are good and might have the British interests at heart, we can't trust them. We cannot trust any of the establishment anymore.
Some of them may even have the genuine best interests of the Britain, but as a whole. But the handlers say no. Whitehall says no, and we need to overthrow Whitehall too.
But once trust is lost, it's very difficult to get back. And I, for one, and I think a lot of our viewers as well, have totally lost trust in politics, in government, in every single politician as well.
Well, I wouldn't say every single politician. So for me, I got still quite faith for Steve Baker, Conservative MP. But there are very few that I would still have there. I would still have Mary Black. I think she's brilliant.
Is that the one Scottish lass that was
Scottish?
Yeah,
Scottish
giving
MP,
giving it hard about the working class.
She hates all of them in there as much as we do. She knows what's going on.
Well, did you tune
in? She's a strong lady. I mean, a strong lady. If women out there, if you like you feminists who think that there's some equality problem between male and female, okay, whatever is going on in your head, right? It doesn't picture in mind. Speak to Mary Black. See if women can make it to wherever they want to, because she sure did. And I'd rather look at her as a role model than Theresa May and Hillary Clinton and Diane Abbott, Amber Rudd and the likes of these sorts of people. When you've got them sorts of people, it's hard for women to look up to anyone.
Well,
they look up to them and they think, I don't want to be anything like that.
You see, the people that you were just talking about, they're the sort of people that have climbed to the top on top of the bodies of everybody else.
Yeah.
On top of the bodies of their fallen victims. That's the way they got to the top.
Pissed and shit on you on the way up as well.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas we really, truly want people that have been lifted up. The people have lifted them up into that position.
If someone truly believes in the genuine person, so like, say if you run for to be a candidate in your constituency, right? And the people really believed in you as a true honest person, right? And they all knew you from back when and stuff like that, how you grew up and where your parents and stuff like that.
Well,
I think that's quite vital.
Well, you know what's going to happen. You do know what's going to happen if any normal person wants to try to run as a candidate and get some strength behind him and starts the ball rolling and starts to get going towards the higher echelons of power. They're going to send out people to scour your past, to go back and interview all of your friends, all of your old friends from your old hometown, and to try and dig up as much dirt as they possibly can. That's what the establishment does. So they can badmouth
you. I'd love them to, because they'd find nothing on me.
Oh, they find a few things about me, but I firmly believe that will make the normal everyday man more endearing towards me. To know that I've had a bit of a jaded past.
Could you imagine, say if you run for candidacy and they sent all of this information from your past up into the open, right? You would see people go, there's an agenda here, like instantly. Like everyone around you would go, what is that about?
Why are they picking on him? Why are they picking on him? Why have they dragged his name through the mud?
Genuinely going to be a candidate for his constituency to represent the people, and they'll be like, I've spoken to him already. Like, even like the so-called middle class in your own town would go, what the is this? Seriously? Like, he was only on my doorstep. He was sitting on my sofa the other day having a cup of tea. He's a very nice gentleman.
Yeah. Or I knew him back when he was growing up. I used to have drinks with his dad in pub. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember him. He was all right, actually.
It would probably flip. It would probably have the, which would be a good thing. It would probably have the adverse effect. There'd be more people like, oh, I remember him. Yeah, I'm going to vote for him, actually. I don't know what that crap's about, but yeah, I like him. I remember him from a few years ago. I met him in a pub, didn't I?
That's it.
These sorts of things happen, don't they?
Well, nobody's going to have a squeaky clean past. Nobody's worst actions is going to be running through a farmer's field, is it? if you get the quote there, if you get that quote, you know. So everybody, you know, if you want a normal person, everyday person to be in charge, running the country, they're going to have a normal everyday person past. You know, they've probably had a few drunken nights out and had a few misdemeanors on the name. You know, but
oops, proves that you're a normal person.
Yeah,
normal people.
Well, if you might not have been listening to the Daily Brexit earlier or the Daily Chaos earlier, but they had Tess, a paedophile hunter, on there, and she's done research and she's done analysis because she's an analyzer. That there's over 100 MPs in the Houses of Parliament on the child offenders list, on the child sex offenders list. Yeah. So they try, you know, they try and badmouth the normal everyday candidates, but they're protecting the fucking paedophiles. Mm-hmm. Upside down world, mate. It's fucking upside down world.
Well, guess what? When I'm sitting in my constituency seat, all of that information is going to be brought to light.
Oh.
And guess what? Justice will be served.
We hope.
No hope. There's no hope needed.
Oh, there's always hope needed. There's always hope needed. Especially with the wicked establishments against you.
By killing me. The only way they can stop me is by killing me. And I'd rather die standing than live on my knees.
Yep. Every time. Anytime. That's it. You know, and it's...
And the other thing I would strive to stop is this stratospheric aerosol injection.
Yeah.
Business.
That
we
is...
need to stop that.
That is...
Just, only because I'm looking at my sky and the criminality is absolutely disgusting.
We've had a lovely blue sky today, but I've not seen any chem jets flying over. So...
that's giving you a bit of relief then.
Yeah. You know, they do need some...
Have it tonight and it'll be full tomorrow.
Yeah. They do need some sunlight to come through, so the plants do grow a bit. So it's not that obvious. Yeah. Yeah. But it's so... And there with the 5G rollout as well, it's just... It's hand in hand to slow death.
Well, I'm glad we don't have one cacti or two palm trees.
Oh, have you seen them? Yeah.
Because they're the two disguises I've seen so far of them. I'm like, what the? Just to put them in the streets so they look better. And I'm like, no way.
Yep. Well, I've got one literally 300-400 meters away from me. 300-400 meters away from me on one side. And there's another about 800-900 meters to the other side. Yeah. I went and had a look at them before. I had a little check out and see what they're all about. I'm not sure if they're upgraded to 5G yet, but there was, certainly quite a lot of stuff. Big metal boxes, wiring everywhere, big thick armor cable. Yeah.
I don't think they're having a rollout until 2020, are they?
Well, they've got to put the infrastructure in place before they turn it on.
No, I mean, putting the infrastructure in.
Oh, the infrastructure's already way in place. It's already been put in place. Definitely.
We've only just had our new pylons put up in my town.
Yeah.
Literally, only just had the metal pylon, the metal erections.
Yeah, the foundation of it.
The towers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I've seen them putting them on power. What they called? Fucking power pylons. Seen them putting them on power pylons.
No, we've got none of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Directly powered by the power pylon. That's going at like 2,400 volts.
How they're trying to structure it, isn't it? Because they're only, a lot of them aren't going to be like fully connected by cables. A lot of them are just there to rebound and stuff like that. Apparently, because what they're trying to do is that there'll be literally a cloud of connection everywhere, that you would never lose connection or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's mainly for the autonomous cars.
Well, I've looked into it, and I've seen that they might even be able to use it as EMF sort of sonar.
Oh, they could easily direct it at you.
Yeah. So if they wanted to look inside someone's house, they could direct it at you, blast it with electromagnetic waves, and then get a view from the inside of that house.
Yeah, and not only that, they could probably attack you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. They can direct the beam.
Well, 5G permanently attacks you anyway, doesn't it? It's
And
microwave.
Yeah. And it's
millimeter wave, sorry.
Yeah, millimeter waves. And they're just so powerful. That's it. You know, they're not the 1 or 2 watts that we're used to. The 300, 400 watts. Yeah.
What are they? Megawatts that powers the actual main hub. 4 megawatts. Are you mad?
Well,
it's enough to blow up a town.
That's it. That's what they want it for. it all makes perfect sense if you know the reasoning behind it.
Build a nuclear power station in the country. You need one power station to run one town.
Well, it's we're going to have the Chinese come over and make one, aren't we?
People, let's be honest. Are you happy with 4G?
I am, certainly. I get enough data and then gigabits. Yeah.
It's very efficient. It's very speedy. We don't need any more, right? People, let's be honest. Do we really, really deeply want fully autonomous cars?
No. Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that?
You can't. There's no overriding.
Oh, there's no fun in them.
It's not even about the fun. It's not even about the fun.
Or what about all the
one? Would you truly feel safe?
Or what about all the taxi drivers that are going to lose their jobs?
What about all the lorry drivers that are going to lose their jobs?
Yeah.
The delivery drivers,
bus drivers, any driver,
the bus, anyone who's traveling.
Well, they're trying to get rid of delivery drivers. Oh, sorry. They were going to try and get rid of delivery drivers with Amazon's drones, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they've got many ways that they're trying to do this thing.
But what it boils down to is stopping your freedom of movement. So you won't be able to go to where you want in your car. You will only be able to go to the designated areas at the designated times.
Shut down your car.
Oh, yeah, they can just go, well, we don't quite like him, so turn off the brakes. Yeah.
No, not even that. They could just literally turn off everything to it, and you've got no way of getting in it, or if you're in it, you've got no way of getting out of it.
Yep.
You can't use any electricity.
You're going to struggle.
Just shut down. It's just more control, and honestly, it's just not needed.
Well, you know, when they do have the internet of everything, which they want.
The Internet of Things.
Yes.
They already have the Internet of Things. And the patent for it.
The Internet of everything, where everything's connected.
That is it. The Internet of Things is the Internet. Everything. The World Wide Web. They have, the deep state have that.
Well.
And the patent for it.
Yes, they do. So far as our acceptance of the technology has come. We all have a smart TV. Well, pretty much all of us have a smart TV. Pretty much all of us have a smartphone. Those things are able to talk to each other and then talk to big government. That's part of the Internet of Things.
They can just take the data.
Yeah. Your fridge will soon be part of the Internet of Things, and it will know.
Some fridges are.
Yeah, and it will know. You've just had a pizza. You need to buy a new pizza. Here's pizza adverts. Yeah.
Quite simply.
Well, that's the nice side of it. It's going to order your pizzas for you. But it's also going to track.
I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, it's also going to track, where did you put that rubbish? You put the cardboard in the non-cardboard bin. Fine.
Oh, you've been a bad citizen. One less point for you.
Yep. Or a 40.
It's just a Chinese social plan initiative.
Yeah, Chinese numbers. And if any of our guests, if any of our viewers want to do some research on that, please do. It's a very weird subject, but China has instituted a numerical system for rating its people. We have a
merited system, not numerical. Is it numerical?
Yeah, it's a
It's like a star rating.
Yeah, numerical.
It's like TripAdvisor. They rate their citizens like people would rate hotels or holiday destination on TripAdvisor.
Yeah, kind of like that. But I thought it was a broader. It was it was a number, so you could take like 1 point or 2 points or 10 points off someone, and they still got a 500-point score. You know what I'm saying?
In what way? How would that?
If you were late to pay your bill, the government would take 15 or 20 points off your point score.
Oh yeah. That's what they do. Yeah. So like hotels are like stars, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then people will rate them like 1 star, 3 stars, stuff like that. And if they get so many bad, they'll get so many points taken off, which they'll lose a star and stuff like that. It is. Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do lose points, and then they can gain points if they do some volunteer work, or and then if they don't have enough points, they can't travel. Is it they can't travel on a plane or train?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that there's restaurants that you can't get into if your points aren't high enough. There's areas of the city that you can't get into if your points aren't high enough, and things like that. That's really starting to.
We'd be refined to our 4 square walls, mate.
No, most definitely. I'm wondering, what do they start the point system at? Does everybody start at 0? Or does somebody who's hoity-toity and well-to-do with the people start right up at the top at 900 points? Or does your
whole... they're not involved in the point system, mate. It's just
just us. Yeah, just the slaves. Yeah. And I was thinking, is your homeless person on the street going to start with minus points?
He'll have minus
probably
every game, wouldn't he?
Yeah, probably. It's just ridiculous. But
it's barbaric, man.
Oh, where has freedom gone? Where's freedom gone?
Did you ever have it?
Back when we were freaking living in caves, mate.
And what is freedom?
Yeah, but that's it. We need to get it back in some way, shape, or form, because it's just clamping down on us more and more and more.
Unity in numbers, isn't it?
Well, that's it. We
then,
don't,
like you said earlier, we can all just descend then on Parliament and say get out.
Yeah. Or we can all go to the banks together and take out all of our money, and that will crash the banking system.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen, though.
It's a tricky one to put into place, but it has already been threatened upon our government and our banking system.
There isn't enough money to crash them.
No, but that's what would happen with the crash. The banks wouldn't have enough liquid in them to pay out all of the debitors, to pay out all the people. So the bank would have to go, we don't have any money. And that will cause the financial crash, that will cause the people to go, whoa, hey, everybody get to the bank. Oh, everybody they're going to get the money, going to get money. And
you need to get
reaction.
About 8 million people doing this across the whole nation.
Yep. It's already been threatened to us. It's already been used against us by a certain community that doesn't particularly like our banking system. Yeah.
I would just say call for the ban of the Rothschilds and Soros.
Well,
so there'll be no central banking.
It's got to be a clean slate. It's got to be a clean slate. We've got to get rid of the entire banking system. It's that corrupt. So it would have to be a whole new. It would have to be a whole new currency. It would have to be a whole new banking system, and yeah, it would be.
The system's already there. It's just been subverted. So all we need to do is just to build upon that. And there are lots of banks here that we could turn into, once we've taken control of the Bank of England, turn them into the Bank of England, and then you have the Bank of Scotland. And then, well, Wales haven't got one. But if they did,
we can give them one. We can give them one. They can have one.
We could definitely give them one.
Yeah.
We can definitely give them one. It wouldn't be any problem. We just have to set it up, help set them up.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know, because Wales has got quite a lot of assets that they could use some banking for.
No, it's not even that. There are brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, you know.
Simple as.
In the banking system, if you're setting up a bank, the last thing you want to do is to give it money and substance and authority without the collateral. Yeah. Because that's what's happened at the moment. The banking system has no real collateral behind it. It just goes numbers on screen. It's numbers on the screen. What do you do? You know, there's no real substance behind it. You know, all they can do is foreclose upon the people that have borrowed money from it that it's made up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once we get a full, you know, sort of real currency back in place with real monetary value, then we can start making
commodity based.
Commodity, effort. It's got to
wealth of the nation, everything. Yeah. Take everything into account.
Prosperity of the nation. Prosperity of the nation, which also includes which also includes living standards. The standard of living for the people in this country. How good is that? Because
the wealth of this nation, as a nation, is really worth about 400 trillion. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
As a nation, that's how much we're worth.
Well,
in taking out of this central banking system, in true value.
Well, that's what is that what they've valued us at, or what we have valued us at? Because you can see the conflicting opinion.
That's what we're valued at. That's what we're valued at.
You can see the conflicting opinion. You know, the international banking system will say, well, you're worth 4 trillion or 400 trillion. That's all right. Whereas you're really worth 800 trillion. If you know where I'm coming from. Because they stand to gain a downside more from us being undervalued.
Well, they'd always say that anyway, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and just to answer William Davis's question, how much are we in debt? Nothing.
I think it's around £3 trillion.
Nothing. Not a penny. Not a penny. We're not a penny in debt.
Well, we're not in debt. No.
No.
There is no debt.
There is no such thing as it.
Exist.
Yeah. All we need to do is chop the head off the snake of the international banking system, and all debt is wiped out. We'll have to find some way of, you know, correcting it or putting a new system in place, but we can literally wipe it all out from there. Because who do we owe this money to?
Speak to one's good friend, President Dr.
Donald
J. Trump.
Yep. That's it.
And we go, when are we going to shut down the Federal Reserve?
The Bank of England and the Vatican. Because
when are we going to cut this head off the snake?
Yes. Then we can all feast upon its body.
No.
Yeah.
We'll throw it to the lions.
No. Because the body of the snake...
It's poison.
No, the body of the snake is all of their wealth. All of the things that they have. That's the body of the snake.
They already have that back.
They are the head.
As soon as you take the head off,
yeah.
The body. As soon as you take the head off, the everything will fall out because it's all in their head.
No, the body becomes.
It's not even in the body; it's in their head.
Oh no, I'm talking about their assets. All of their assets that they have are the body.
Yeah, just demolish them.
That's the body of the snake. We get to we the people get to feast upon that body. So all of their assets, all of their ill-gotten gains, then come towards the people, and we can do what we want with them, and we can,
What use are they to us when they're worthless?
What, you're telling me that a 16-bedroom mansion's worthless?
Would you want to step inside, knowing what they do?
Yeah, damn right.
Inside those places?
Damn right.
No, I'm okay, thanks.
Well,
I don't want to step into a place where a child's been eaten and sacrificed. I'm good.
Well, the ghosts there will be a bit, yeah. The bad spirits in there will be pretty bad.
I'd smash it all down and start all over again.
But what would that mean? Smashing down the entirety of London? Because they own it pretty much.
If anything has happened there, yes.
Yeah.
I do not. It would create jobs. Our steel industry would be back up and running.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because we'd have to rebuild.
Exactly.
So and our demolition industry. Our demolition industry would go through the roof before that as well.
And then the construction industry straight after.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the nitty-gritty bits in between. Economy will thrive. There's a method to one's madness.
Oh, most definitely.
Two birds, one stone,
Yeah. There's we just need to put it in place.
I'd like to think what they've done in some of them places. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I could, as soon as I stepped towards the building, I'd feel it straight away, and I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. Just blow it up."
Yeah. We'll have a little dig in the backyard as well. No.
Whatever metal's in there, like whether it's silver and gold, it'll all be melted down and put into blocks, and all of whatever it is, the armor, all of that will be melted and remade again and stuff like that. I don't care what I do, unless if they're like really old guns and stuff like that. This is my. Would they have done anything with them?
There will be historical artifacts.
Yes, they probably have.
There will be historical artifacts in their control at the moment.
But at the same time, there's quite a lot of history there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. We don't want to go destroying all these beautiful suits of armor. Just air them out a bit. Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah.
It sickens me because all of them lovely old tapestries and then I think of what have they done? Seriously.
Yeah. Then
it kills you to pride.
But hey, once we get them, once we hold them to account, once we've done due process,
justice will be served.
Justice will be served. Then we can smile. Then we can have a happy day parade. Happy day. Yeah. Because I'd love people at the royal wedding to start talking about the royals and what they do and the Queen eating babies and all this, that, and the other, and Charles being a rampant paedophile, and let's talk about the two sons, Harry and William, also being Luciferians.
I suppose, yeah, Harry is. He is.
Yeah. This is the not so royal wedding, the illegitimate royals' wedding. Yay!
I'm not the only one that's happened.
Well, true that. Well, the royal family's completely illegitimate anyway. They've got no right to rule the UK. They have no fucking descended bloodline. Yep.
No, well, they were deceptive, wasn't they, the people?
Yep, they are pretenders. Foreign pretenders. Harry will be hell to get his hair dyed again. Harry will have to get his hair dyed again, the little ginger.
Well, a really good thing to point out to people is, even to red pill people,
what, the ginger?
Find a meme that shows all of these top people in the world, like the Pope, Prince Philip, Robbie Dow Jr., Pharrell Williams, and there's loads of other people that got a black eye. On the left, and then say to them, why would all of these people have black eyes? What is this about? And they'll be like, well, actually, yeah, what is that about? Why have they? That's a bit strange, that. Why have they all got black eyes? And they're meant to be world leaders. And I'm like, Like, even George Bush.
Who punched them in the face?
Yeah, he keeps punching these people and getting away with it. I've never heard of anyone being arrested for punching the Pope. Never heard anyone be arrested for punching Prince Philip. I would be international news, would it not?
Oh, you'd think so. You would think so, wouldn't you? Yeah.
But they walk around very proudly with this.
Part of a ritual.
There's something awfully strange.
I know the quote as well. I know the quote from the ritual. And the reason why they get punched in the...
You'll punch me in the eye and I'll be your slave.
It's almost like that. No, it's not like that. It's something.
I know.
It's something.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's something ritualistic, esoteric. But that's why they do... It's something esoteric. It's definitely something...
it's Luciferian.
Yeah, Luciferians.
It's very simple as, isn't it? It's Luciferian. That explains it all.
Yeah.
Guess what happened today?
What happened today?
Finally fully woke someone. Well, not fully woke, but she's looking into the
pizzas?
Birth certificate.
Oh, certificates.
Becoming free.
Did you show that blonde girl who's become a free woman?
No, but I'm going to.
Yeah, show her because she's good orator of it. She really comes across well.
Yes.
She's funny as well.
So I was like, good efforts, girl. I like to hear. And she's like, Glenn, you've woke me. You seriously have. Everything that you say, I'm just like, this makes so much sense, and I have to know more.
Because, well, the birth certificate is one of the
fundamental.
Yeah. This proves that you're property of the state.
This could be. And then I pointed out we're on the stock exchange as well. Have a good look.
Yeah, have a look at that. Yeah.
Type in your birth certificate digits.
Yeah.
Your docking number.
Because we're all at sea. Swimming about.
Until you say so.
Yeah.
It's like, this is so mad. I didn't realise it would go this deep. I was like, yes, that's from birth. You're a slave from birth.
I've tried to tell my friend because he's got a young daughter, and I know that it takes 6 or 7 years for them to fully claim the estate. And I'm like, you need to do some research on the birth certificate, mate. You need to look into it, and you need to get your daughter to claim her estate back. You need to do this, mate. But it's like, It's one of those. It's a bit too hard for some people to believe.
Yeah.
Bit too big, but that's what Hitler said. Hitler said the biggest lies are the easiest ones to keep because they're that big. Nobody doubts them.
Would believe them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
How it's right there in front of people's faces. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know about it until someone pointed it out to me. I delved into it very deeply.
It was the birth certificate came at me from left field. I was like, straight in. Let's have a look at this. Whoa.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's real. Whoa. All right then.
What does this actually mean then?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you look into the meaning of it, and then you find out more information. Like that's where I found like endorsements, and I already didn't pay my council tax. I already knew kind of a lot of that somehow. I may have done a lot of research a long time ago when I was still asleep about this, or in a daze, shall I say, half awake, half asleep. So, and then I looked into everything like myself.
I looked
and it was just like, this is mental.
You know, it pushed me down.
How do people not know about this?
Yeah, it pushed me down the road of thinking, I can become my own bank. I can then.
I didn't even think like that. I just said,
then I can use promissory notes to pay myself. And I could walk into the bank and order the bank to pay me this much money. Right.
But the money doesn't exist to us. We can't read that money.
Well, no, if you're a bank, if you are a bank and you've claimed yourself to be a bank, things change a bit.
But that means that you're still a corporation. You're still enslaved in a system.
No, it's a weird one because you form it into your own trust, and you can. I think you can even then move it offshore and become your own offshore bank and do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
It's quite difficult to set up.
I'm there looking up to the sky, thinking, right, how did I think of that again? How did I do that again? Yeah, trying to get back to the previous things I've researched and looked into. Yeah, but
yeah, so taking back your own worldly self.
Yeah, you see, I want this.
It's the most important thing one can do.
I want this to happen en masse. I'd love it to happen en masse, but I don't see people doing it en masse. So I'd like to see when we take back control, we reviving everybody. We getting the birth certificate system and throwing it right away and saying everybody's freaking
where
living.
It said in the Bible, the dead will rise.
Well,
what do you think that means?
Let's not get biblical because we all know what's going to happen in Damascus.
But what do you think the dead will rise will mean?
Yeah, exactly. It is.
We're rising from the dead, taking dominion of our selves.
But like I said, I don't see the mass of individual people doing it. It's a weird one. It is a weird one.
Depends who you speak to,
and
how many people you speak to, and the very good thing, like for me, is like because I've done it within like a small group of people, but spread out. So I'll take one group of people, for instance. So I explained to them about the birth certificate and what it all means. And then this whole Alfie.
Baby Alfie.
Baby Alfie being murdered. Came to light. And people and then I explained it in regards to that.
Because that brings
it and was like, wow, that's actually right, Glenn. This is you're right. No, and this is what I'm explaining.
Yeah, it brings it
And now
all.
people are now coming to me going, Glenn, how do we do this? And now they're coming to ask me a question. Because I've just put little seeds in and then related it to something that's happening to a certain narrative given by the media.
No. One of my concerns about the Freeman and the birth certificate issue would be, what if it got into what if it became pronounced in the Islamic community?
Do you know what? I spoke to a Muslim today and he was like, oh, could I do it, Glenn? How do I do it? And I was like, abrogate.
What, you broke up?
And he looked at me and was like, what? I was like, come away from Islam, mate.
Oh, yeah, because it does have to be,
Because he has to go to an ecclesiastical member of the Church of England, which is a full contradiction of Islam.
Thank you. Thank God for that.
So, I said, the only way you could take any sort of control was by claiming citizenship in another country, like Saudi Arabia. I was like, and I doubt you go to Iran. And he was like, he goes, they wouldn't let me in. I don't think I was ISIS. I was like, well, they would hide me, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, especially coming from the United Kingdom, yeah.
So I was like, the only way you could do it is abrogate.
Then he'd become an apostate, and then he'd probably be killed by his own community. Oh.
And he goes, well, I won't be doing that, will I?
Yeah. Yeah. 111. Yeah. All the ones. Oh. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of 11s recently. Yep. Been seeing a lot of 11s. Yeah. Just looked at the clock there, looked at the timer on a timestamp, and I was like, oh, 11. 11, 11. 1, 11, 11.
I was doing that earlier when I was talking to my friend of mine. I was talking about something, and then I looked at because a time on the cooker thing is not right, and it said 11:11, and I was like, I like that. Hello, my angels. But yeah, so how cool would it be if I managed to get this Muslim to be an apostate, and he goes and takes control and becomes like just, I don't know, just a free person, just free people. He'd be like, I'd be like a messiah to people.
Well, as long as you're getting them away from frigging Islam, it's fine.
And then I'd have a fatwa on my head within seconds.
Oh, most definitely. I think I've already got one, but it's all good. They'd enhance it.
I was playing to a couple of Muslims the other day, the ISIS parody.
Yeah. Living next door to Ali.
That's brilliant. And I also played the feminist one.
Yeah.
And the EU one.
Yeah.
And I was like, where it says even Muslims who join ISIS still can enter in the EU one. And they were even laughing at it. Even the ISIS parody one, they was laughing at it. They thought it was funny. I was like, this is brilliant. Whilst we're all standing there drinking a bottle of Copperberg, we'll be like, everyone.
Lovely day for it. Lovely day for it. Nom, nom, nom.
We would have been smoking
a zoo.
A zoo, but we didn't have any on us.
Oh. Yeah, you don't take it to work with you. It's not a good idea.
No, this won't work.
All right.
And I wouldn't take it to work either.
No.
That's a bad idea.
It is a bad idea.
Even if it was, do you know what? I was talking to this with a couple of people the other day. I was like, even if cannabis was legal, I still wouldn't smoke it whilst I'm at work.
No, it's unprofessional. It's like drinking. It's like going out and having fucking 3-4 beers at lunch. It's not a good. It's not professional.
I'd have a glass of wine, like a decent glass of red wine, because a decent glass of red wine isn't going to be very intoxicating. It's more for flavour and for drink, and
to complement the meal.
A bottle of red wine is good for you. It complements the meal. But I wouldn't have a beer or anything like that because it's just too heavy. And it's made really just to get drunk. Well, let's face it, a pint of Carlin isn't there for taste because it tastes like crap. Same as Foster's.
Well, you know, back when I lived in Spain,
to me it does.
Back when I lived in Spain, we'd all go out for lunch, few beers, bish bash bash, and we'd all come back into the office, loosened up, happier, more in a better mood, you know, and the office stats would go up because we'd all had a nice little drink. But then
it's very unprofessional, though. But
that's Spain for you. Spain's an unprofessional place.
Yeah. So no, I'm just saying. For me,
yeah,
I wouldn't do it. Like I wouldn't go to like you said, I wouldn't go to the pub, or I wouldn't have a half a pint when I'm having a fag break at work. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of comparable, really. If you're going to start doing that, it's a bit ridiculous. Legalizing cannabis for me doesn't mean everyone just smoke it whenever you want and as much as you want. It kind of defeats the object. Educating would need to happen.
Legalizing cannabis means taxing the fucking shit out of it. That's what it means. That's all it's going to mean in this country. It will get taxed.
Well, not if we don't have any taxation legislation.
Well, if we take back control and we legalise it, totally different. If they legalise it...
Do you know what I would do first? For the first 2 years, I wouldn't actually legalise it, like to be selling in the streets. I would very much decriminalise it to the point where...
You could smoke a bifter in front of a copper.
I would say have a bit more decorum.
Well, you can't just go up to... You can't blow it in his face. Because if you blow it in his face, then you're intoxicating him.
I would say how it is being done anyway at the moment is probably how it would be.
Ignored.
Even if you did decriminalise it, there would still be the few people that did walk around the street smoking it, and there'd still be the very much people that go to everyone's houses to smoke it. I don't think many smoking habits would change.
No. And
I would say to the police, though, if you're getting big crowds of people in public areas where it's a nuisance for others to commute and get in and out of public buildings, I would say get them moved on or sort them out.
Yeah. Or if there's anywhere that there's children going to be. If there's children going to be anywhere near them. So that's an honor.
Or if there's even children doing it. I wouldn't say under 18s can't do it.
No.
And I would keep that as it. And if anyone under 18 has it, like alcohol, take it off of them.
I'd be tempted with 20 or 21, but 18, yeah, it's a good figure. But,
because it's the same as alcohol. It's the same as voting. I think, and do you know what? I would even put the age of consent to sex up to 18.
Well, 18 is when you are officially 100% fully an adult and responsible for all of your actions.
Yes, of your own actions. You have full self-responsibility at the age of 18.
Yep.
Unless if you have any impairments.
True. True on that. Because
and obviously they are dealt with, as everyone else, in an equity society, so a fair society with equal opportunities. Okay, so that's not an equal society.
No, we don't want one of those.
It's a fair society with equal opportunities. Okay, it's a very different type of society to what we're living in now. It would be a fair society, so everyone would have an individual tailored needs.
Whereas with our society, it's Are you a
Is it
minority?
as a general?
Are you a victim? Well, hey, here, have some more free handouts. Here,
Well, not
have a quick
even
leg
that.
up.
It's just, do you fit in this whole category? Yeah, or you get all of this? Well, that's most of the population, and or all the say benefits. Everyone practically gets the same percentage or same amount of money to live on across the whole of the UK. Everyone gets the same of everything, and it's not fair.
No, it's not.
The education system isn't fair.
No, it's not.
The medical system isn't fair.
No, it's not.
There's a lot that's not fair. There's a lot that's equal.
Yes, that's what I was just about to start.
Drained our system.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to come back at you with and say, yeah, there's a lot of things that are equal and really screwing us over because they are equal, whereas it shouldn't be this way. It should be more. Have you earned it? Have you earned? If you've
got a 6-foot wall and you've got someone there who's 6'2", 5'8", and 5'6", well, the tool one in the benefit system would get the same amount as all of them. But it's not like that. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need the benefit of a box to see over the wall. The one that's in the middle doesn't need the same height box as the one to the left of him who's shorter than him. They need different sizes because they're different people. They need different needs.
That's it. And yeah, there's also yeah, the ones that have snuck in to the cricket ground.
Yeah.
And
the ones that are literally taking the piss out of us.
Yep. And then
literally, that's what they're doing.
Yep, taking the piss. And then there's also the other side of the coin, where it's, 2 or 3 generations of people have lived on benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And the children.
The system's created a perpetual
state of
benefits
limbo.
Yeah.
You're stuck in the twilight zone. You're stuck in, well, I don't work and I don't want to do a shitty job, but I still get to live for free. Now, I'm teaching my children that this way is all right. You don't have to be an active member of society. You can just leech off the system. So just reading a comment here. Universal payment is already in play. That will be equal. You will never be able to be a entrepreneur. Entrepreneur? Anymore though. I don't know what that word is. Entrepreneur. ALTRAPANEU. Entrepreneur? Could that have been?
I think, is it meant to be entrepreneur?
I think it could have been.
What is the whole thing?
A go-getter. Yeah, a go-getter, an entrepreneur. If everybody gets a basic living amount, then everybody's going to end up basically living off the basic living amount, because one of the major parts of the human being and the human psyche is laziness. It is. It's part and parcel of being a human. Is being lazy. After food, clothing, shelter, fulfillment. I think there's another one that comes intoxication. I think that's the 6th basic human need is intoxication, the feeling of differentness, the feeling of intoxication, the feeling of being drunk, the feeling of being high, that different sort of feeling. And you'll even see it in the freaking Amazonian tribes. They'll lick frogs to get high because it's part of human nature. And laziness is also a massive part of human nature. You'll always have some people out there who don't want to do things, who'd rather do the littlest possible. I'm not saying it's everyone. I'm just saying that there is a certain amount of people out there that prefer to do nothing than do something. Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, William, a lot of these people that do prefer to do nothing and do nothing are the ones that end up obese, with cancer, getting Alzheimer's, getting dementia. I'm not saying that there isn't other contributing factors to it, because as we all know, there are, one of them being aluminium, but because of their lack of doing things, they're not getting the exercise they need. They're not getting their mental exercise that they need to keep the body going and keep the lights on in the house. Yeah, and I'm not getting at these people for the want and will to do nothing, because sadly it's part of human nature. There will always be people like that. There will always be people that prefer to do nothing than something. It's part of humans. It's part of human nature. It's part of who we are. It's part of free will. We have to have free will. I want the free will to go and do something. Also, I want the free will to say, you know what? I don't want to do it. Then you've got the strength of character to say, hey, I don't want to do it. However, it is my responsibility and I am going to go and do it. It's... Anyways, that's a nice little segue back to the main topic, which was ultimatums. Holding the government to account, grabbing them by the shorts and curlies and getting them to listen to us and do what we want them to do. Because yes, they are lazy. Yes, they don't want to do anything. Yes, they want to simply maintain the status quo where they are in power, they have all the control, they write the rules, and we have to live by them. So we have to give them the ultimatum, give them the I would say choice to either do as we want or go against us. And we have to force them to show their character. Because if we can force them to show their evil character, then more people will come to us. More people will turn towards us, and the truth and the righteous will succeed. But if we're not offering them the ultimatum, if we keep just going out there saying, hey, look at our protest sign, we're pissed off about this, it will fall upon deaf ears. They will turn a blind eye. Hope that we just go away and go back to our normal lives, go back to our normal selves, back to work on Monday. Whereas we really do need to start now saying, no, if you don't do as we want, we're not going to go back to work on Monday. We're not going to leave. We're not going to go back into this system. We're going to stay outside of it. We're going to hold you to account. We're going to make sure that you do what you say you're going to do. And make sure that you listen to the will of the British people. Because for far too long now, they've been acting with their own will, with their own wants, feathering the nests of themselves and their corporate buddies. And we have to bring a major stop to it.
Sorry about that. My phone just messed up.
That's all right. It's all right. I think we're going to wrap up in a moment anyway. Hour and a half, Scott, here.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah. The good episodes always go quickly, don't they?
They do, don't they? They do, don't they? There's some good conversation going on there.
Mm. Well, I think we should hang fire on it, save it till tomorrow, and discuss more from them.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly.
Excellent. Well, thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Ewips. Ewips.
Good night, everyone, and God bless.
And did you hear on the Daily Morn? Told Ollie he did not. Oh, wait. Well done, Will. Well done, Will. You know, something we addressed on one of the earliest shows was the Queen being one of the heads of the Illuminati. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for your comments. Some great comments in there. Couldn't get through them all. I'm not too quick at that. But yeah, been noticed, been recognised, been logged, and for the many more to come. So
yes.
So thank you very much. Thank you to my guests. Goodbye.
Thank you ever so much.